all I got to say.
Okay, the next person that is signed on the list is Barbara Holland.
Well, we had sludge spread on the property across from our house, and it started in 2015. A well in the springs on our property was contaminated. I had it tested through the health department, and it had E. coli and chloroform or coliform or whatever you call it. Through the health department, they don't tell you how much it has. It just says it's contaminated. We spoke to the person or people that was responsible for this, and they said they didn't know there was a well there, but they never made no effort to come and ask me if there was a well there. I had the decency to speak to this person's wife sometime before this when I was going to spread rat poison around my house, and they had a dog that was running loose, and an expensive dog. So I went and told him I had the decency to do that. But what do I get in return? This mess. They have no respect for anyone. You have got sick people in these communities that are dying. They can't spend their last days in any peace. They're trying to get away from this smell. You've got family members that are trying to take care of them. They've got more than they can deal with. The whole community has got anxiety, as my husband says up there, yang yang. And we shouldn't be having to live with this. We know what it causes. And like the other people said, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Everyone that is spreading this stuff can afford to do better. And I think it's time the people of Jackson County wake up, and if we can do something about this, we've got to sign these petitions and get it on the ballot. That is nothing but fair. That's all I've got to say right now.
Thank you, ma'am. The next person on the list is Melissa Roberts.
Just like I said before about the EPA not actually coming out and testing, and like they was talking about the wells being contaminated. Our well was contaminated. My neighbor's well was contaminated. I was perfectly healthy whenever I moved to Flat Rock in 2005. I was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer in 2009. You tell me that's not linked to that? I'm always sick. My kids are 5 and 7 years old. They're always sick. You think that has nothing to do with that? You think it's just a coincidence? It has to do with what y'all are putting on our land. I'm 38 years old. I've been dealing with this since I was 30. It's ridiculous. We signed petitions. There was petitions in every single gas station, every place. How many people is it going to take to sign that petition for this to stop?
And they get ripped down.
Yes. It's ridiculous. Do you not understand that? All I want to do is see my kids graduate school. I want to be there when they get married. Now I have this rare form of cancer, and I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Is that right?
Okay, the next one that I have on the list is Judy Pike.
Okay, I'm teacher mode, so I can't do nothing sitting down. And I got a best friend from Flat Rock back here to back me up. No. First off, one of the things, and I spoke to this lady over the phone when I heard about the issues, and she did come out, and I did ask lots of questions. But the main thing that she told me, there was no Alabama regulations. We had to follow Tennessee's. Okay, below where we live, and people already talked about it, there is at least a 4-strand barbed wire fence that thong goes to the highway when it was foaming over. Mr. McKee that works with the mining company told me that the dam was cut from before the mining was ever released, and he said you should have to test the water if you won't think it's bad. And I'm gonna say this, I have no personal bias against the family that's putting it out. As a matter of fact, and Nick sitting here, his dad, my horses were stolen, he helped me relocate. So I went to him, I talked to Mr. Corneliuson every time that I had a concern. And one of the things is, in our community, we saw an influx of people with diarrhea, vomiting, the doctors cannot diagnose what it is. We have people who have been, maybe have a medical condition, we've lost no telling how many people in our community. One that just lived like, maybe from here, that wall past the creek that it's going into. And that's what's happening to our community. And that's why, something's got to be done. One of my good friends, and Sherry back here, she can vouch for this lady whose property joins where it's being put out at, in 3 generations, there had never been a case of pink eye in her cattle. Her cattle, she has lost at least 4 or 5 of her high purebred cattle. She has lost a dog, with the vet said, felt sure it was E. coli. She's just lost a registered quarter horse. And none of these problems she had until this was put out. And this is on the property that joins it. And the main thing my husband mentioned briefly, I guess, and there again is I spoke to Mr. Corneliuson on this myself, because I respect him and I just told him and said, I need to talk to you about something. He leased the Wheeler Farm, which is next door to Flat Rock Baptist Church. We built a church pavilion where we feed our youth and have church outings and things. We have a wonderful program in the Flat Rock community called Faith Warriors, where we take care of children. I mean, we provide food, and we give money to the school, we help children who don't have food, those kind of things. Well, they go to have, and I'm thankful that I wasn't there that night, because they got there, and how would you like to clean feces off your church pavilion where you cook the food for your children? And yes, I went to Mr. Corneliuson and I spoke to him about this. He assured me it was chicken litter. Well, the people that cleaned it off will tell you it wasn't chicken litter, because you can tell the difference in it. It was spread on the side of our church and those kind of things. Thankfully, they had purchased the land for Mr. Wheeler, and he moved the fence back a little bit. But you don't take the smell. And plus, she also told me that it could not be spread very close to schools or churches. Well, we're next to Flat Rock School, and it's all the way around. So, we take a beautiful community where people cared about each other, everybody knew their neighbors, and they treated them that way. And now we can't even enjoy our church. The kids can't enjoy the playground at school. And to think that this is an answer, one thing that was, and I believe she also shared this with me, or someone did when I spoke to them, that the goal of this product was to help the farmers who couldn't afford fertilizer. This is my response. The poor farmer, he thinks more of his land than that. And if you think it's bad, you think anybody's exaggerating here, just drive down Highway 71 in Flat Rock and go all the way to Rosalie and wherever. That is destroying our community. It's taking people's lives. So can we say, well, they died because of that? You take somebody that their immune system is down, it don't take much. I can tell you personally, I have been sick since October of last year, and just recently been able to find some kind of improvement. Health issues that people never had, they're having them now. So y'all can, I know we're from the mountain, we're not in, I don't know where all y'all live from, I do know the land from working with the schools. But Flat Rock is a community that was built on pride, and it's being destroyed by money. Where Barbara and them live, it's awful. And over there. Because of course when you clear cut all the land and there's nothing to stop the odors. And my husband and we went to the Flat Rock Creek and told people, get your kids out of the creek. It's not safe. Because like she said, the very dam that was cut, it had to be put back to the coal mine to meet their standards. It fed into a little creek, which the man next door, he's one of the ones that passed away. It feeds into all these creeks that goes right down to Flat Rock Creek. And like you said, it feeds on our water supplies. So where do we even get water anymore that's safe? Just tell us. The wells are not good anymore. And like I said, the creek, which used to be where they had the baptizings. Everybody had the Flat Rock Creek, they had the baptizings. Y'all, very few are going to be there. I wouldn't want to be baptized there. But for you to really get a feel about this, you need to come out into the community And like I said, start at Pisgah and Rosalie and those places and drive through. And see what the people are going through. And it wouldn't even have to take a ballot. Something would be done. But the bottom line is, you know, God's still in control. And He's who we should be serving. And it's not the dollar. But you know, He also teaches us to care for our neighbor and the people around us. And especially our children. Because what's going to be the long-term effect on these children? How many of them are going to have leukemia? What's the chance that this lady that's already been diagnosed, her children having the same disease? If we don't know where it's coming from. So I challenge you tonight to do something and don't let money decide. It's easy for him to say what's going on, whatever. He don't live at Flat Rock.
That's right.
If he came and lived right there where the phones, over the fences and everywhere, it gets over the road, he'd have a different view. If he had to live there. But most people in Flat Rock don't have millions of dollars that they can do all these things. Because they're there, they live there. Where we live, my dad took service money and worked at a spinning mill to pay for our property. Because TVA took his land in the Stevensonville, Hollywood area. That's what that serviceman came home to. So they worked for it to be for generations. Not to just be hoarded up for people who want money or want to destroy the way of life. So I just encourage you, what would God do? What would He say is the right thing for these people and for these people that are sick? Because that's where because, you know, we can vote somebody in and out next time. But the day of judgment, God will make that decision. And we all need to think about how we treated our neighbors and what do we do? Do we really care about humankind or do we care about the money? And there's no way you can tell me that it's okay to haul human waste.
No.
It's no way you can tell me it's all right. And people that work at hospitals will tell you that stuff is going straight into the system. And I spoke to a young man that I know that he owns some coal mine land, and he got word out that his land was being sprayed with. He said, no, because the human waste is the least dangerous amount of thing that is in that water, or in that sewage they're putting out. So if human waste is the least of the problem, can you imagine what the real problem is? And I close with that.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to thank you all for being a real respectful audience tonight, and we are hearing your complaints, and I'd like to ask, will you be taking questions after the meeting, or?
Sure, we can, and I'd like to respond a little bit, if I could.
Okay.
So, as I said, I hear you, and we hear you, that's why we're here, you know, that's why we're here to present what we do, and I hear the things about the wells, and I understand, I would not want that in my community either. I wouldn't want my well, you know, contaminated. But what I believe is what we're doing at the plant is, when you talk about human waste being spread, human waste is not being spread. What this is what we presented. It's microorganisms that treat human waste. Yep, they eat the contaminants that are in the wastewater. That's what they are. And so it is derived from human waste, sure, and from other things. But
on that, the human waste, it was on our church pavilion, that wasn't all these other things. You can tell what human waste is.
they can come from
Can I
us.
speak to that,
Okay.
those allegations? Can I just say this real quick? What was spread at their church was actually cow manure from the barn. And you know a guy named Gleason Brown? Mr. Brown is who spread that. You can ask him yourself. Okay. In addition to, on the foaming issue, there's a guy, I don't know his name, he lives down from that pond, and we raised the tile 18 inches. We raised the tile 18 inches because it was flooding his house out. Well, lo and behold, the mining company, we had no idea, they had that pond as part of their runoff that they never paid lease for, so they turned around and filed a petition with the state to have us to put it back. Well, that gentleman that lives down the road from there, every time it rains, it floods his house out. So we raised the tile up to hold back water so it would not flood his house out. Well, when the State Mining Commission found out we had raised that, they was gonna pull their bond, which was gonna cost them about $2 million. So they asked us to put it back where it was so they could get their bond closed out. So we put it back where it was. When we did that, we adjusted the water level in the pond 2 times in less than 4 months, and that is why that foamed up. I mean, it's clear. So just FYI.
Well, the thing about the cow here, I can deal with that, because I've never seen a cow with AIDS. I mean, where's this AIDS virus going? Okay, they got a treatment. Okay, if you can treat this, and if it's supposed to be kill all the bacteria, why is it they can't do a human? I mean, where's all this bacteria? How they're supposed to be killing all the bacteria in this waste?
Okay.
And if you can kill it one way, why can't you kill it the other?
Okay, if you would, will you be taking questions after?
Yeah, and I just say, we have a lot of respect for people, and honestly, if we thought something was going on here that was a problem, we'd be doing something different. I mean, I tell you that. That's
After the meeting, let me say one thing. They're gonna make, he's gonna make a comment, but they're gonna take some questions after this. We're gonna vacate this building, this office, because we gotta get ready for court in the morning, so it'll be outside the courtroom. So go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to thank everybody that came out tonight. I'd like to thank everybody from Chattanooga who came, and this is our community. I live at Skyline. And this is one of the few things that we can't do as a county commission. We can't pass laws, we can't, force these people to do extensive testing. I mean, that's the EPA, the ADM. I think from some of your comments, you feel like there's more that we can do. We're elected to take care of the county's financial business. We're not a regulatory commission or anything like that. I just need to figure that out.
See, they don't have a complaint, because it's not done in the house.
That's what I was gonna ask you, something. I approach this, if it was in your front yard, y'all would do something.
We're not legally, there's not anything we can do except for through that Self-Governance Act, the nuisance thing, and you have to have a 10% of voting population to sign a petition in order to put it on the ballot. That's what we can do. I mean,
So, how do you regulate where, we know that, and she shared this with me too, there's no regulations in Alabama, so where's our stance
you
there?
have to go through the state of Alabama.
I've
Your
been to
local
the state,
legislation
we
starts
know,
there.
they won't, the EPA,
I said, we're doing what we can do. This is what we can do.
In Alabama.
Use your platform to voice your opinion, and
I'm just curious.
In Alabama, it's ADM. You can call
She
it
was ADM, both places was not.
the closest one. You got ADM Air Division and Land Division. And the closest one is in Decatur.
And the one that was the one I called and they never showed up.
I live in Ethan, I'm District 1. I appreciate everybody coming out too. This Ben was right. I mean, there's nothing, it's not that we don't want to help you. There's just nothing we can do as a body other than give you all a platform so you can voice your concerns. So the legislative body, that's who can put it on the ballot.
Okay, like my complaint, from my garage, 70 yards, there's 43 loads of waste dumped there. Now you figure, 43 loads of waste, and it smelled so bad that people would not even come by my house. They would detour around to keep from having to smell there. And I wake up every morning, and that's what I got to smell. I mean, there's something's got to be done. I'm not saying it's y'all's problem, but something has got to be done, because there's too much going on that this stuff cannot be good for you.
So where's the petitions that everybody has signed if you're saying that we need 70 signatures? I know for a fact, whenever I signed that petition, there was 598 signatures on it. Where's those petitions?
Someone handed me some here a while ago. That's
Yeah, we
what
need to get those back.
2 pages, a little better than 2 pages.
I want to say one thing for it. I mean, I'm over in Paint Rock Valley, kind of a community just like y'all are, Flat Rock. We fought the issue of the school. I've been fighting that for years. Y'all will be next on that issue right there. You want to keep community. What I have a problem is why you knew the guidelines in Tennessee were so much stronger. The ones in Alabama are lax. Why are you coming across Alabama and going to every state?
Now, keep it
We can answer that if you want one of our,
I'd like to have an answer why.
We currently spread a very large percentage of the material in Tennessee. You know,
Right, you said Tennessee and Kentucky.
no, just Tennessee and
Just
Alabama.
Tennessee?
You know, we try to stay in a 50 to 70 mile radius, and that just happens to include DeKalb, Jackson, and 7 or 8 different Tennessee counties. And so where there's farmer interest, we try to permit farmers in that radius around Chattanooga.
But are you coming across and spreading different patterns than what the regulations is in Tennessee?
We use the agronomics rates set by the university and the state. So
You're not abiding the Tennessee rules when you come across Alabama.
No, we use Dr. Mitchell down at Auburn University. He sets the agronomic rate. Now, the contaminant rate is set on a national level through the EPA.
You know, Dr. Mitchell might not know exactly what is being spread out here.
Oh, he does, because we refer to Dr. Mitchell for land application rates throughout the state of Alabama. So when you go to ADM with a particular product and you say, hey, we'd like to beneficially reuse this, he approves the rate for every product in the state. Now that he's retired from Auburn University, someone else with the extension office now sets those agronomic rates. But we use the rates that are set for the entire state, and for Tennessee, we actually, for the Chattanooga project, we actually rely on even lower rates than we use for other parts of the state. Madison, Alabama, Guntersville, Albertville, we use higher rates for those particular cities. We've actually reduced the rate for Chattanooga because of the lime content. So we're actually land planning at a lower rate for Chattanooga than we do for other cities in the community, Boaz, Albertville, Guntersville.
Well, I feel like there's something causing that water to foam. I mean, Mother Nature didn't make the water foam. There's some kind of chemicals that's been spread in this that these people are concerned about. And I farmed all my life, and I can't believe you've even been a farmer, and with all the response here, that you can go ahead and push the issue. You know, I have a problem with that. I mean, because normally all farmers are going to try to work with everybody that's surrounding them. We've always tried to be that way. You know, I understand exactly where they're coming from. I wouldn't want my family members to have to grow up in it, wondering if it's going to cause some kind of health issue down the road. I mean, you know, I can understand where you're all at. Representative Tommy Haynes has been fighting that issue because he came back in March. He was down in Montgomery, and he said, I know you farm. He said, I'm trying to get some things here with the governor. But that's when kind of everything started tumbling around. So he's been fighting that issue for you. You know, but it's hard to make things happen. So I just keep on with that petition and go to Montgomery.
The EPA contaminant rate, is it the same throughout the United States, or does it have regions due to?
It's the same throughout the U.S.
So our runoff rate, our watershed, our water has a higher velocity, carries more silt than, say, Indiana or.
It's got nothing to do with the silt, clay, sand fractions. They set their rates based on metals, both like an annual application and then also cumulative rate of panels.
You put those metals in this product out on a flat field in Illinois, they're more likely to lay there than you would if you put them on a hillside in Jackson County.
Oh yeah, there are slope restrictions that to keep that material on the field. But when EPA did their 503 rules, they set the lowest rate and they did worst case scenarios. So those rates you see are for like the whole country based on hundreds of risk assessments. So, they took all that into account when they set those 503 limits.
When you say risk assessments, are you saying there's no risk or there's separate?
It's a separate risk. I mean, so a lot of cities make Class A biocides, but you buy them loads of Home Depot. And that's sitting in Milwaukee's wastewater sludge. called organized. And the EPA has set acceptable risk levels for stuff that you buy at Home Depot and Lowe's. So yes, it is acceptable.
I wonder what the difference is between chicken litter and human waste.
It's a bunch.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, generally, what we found,
Said one thing.
what we found was the metals, you know, in the chicken litter and the cow manure, and those types of things were higher, significantly higher than what we find in our end product, so. That's just what we found in the research.
Basically, any fertilizer that you buy, I mean, whether it be chicken litter or commercial from your farmer's co-op, your limiting factor probably is money. You know, I mean, there's a rate of diminishing return.
Oh, yeah, you always want the money, son.
But-
It's gonna cause the issue.
But, I mean, we actually are held, the university says, corn will use 190 units of nitrogen. And you must apply your nitrogen below 190. We do 90% of what Auburn allows. Where you could say, if you wanted to, well, I'm gonna grow more than 200 bushel, so I'm gonna put out 250 units of nitrogen, even though Auburn says you should have just used 190. But we are regulated. We can only do what's legal. You can do what you want to do with what you buy. And that's the same with horse, cow, chicken, any other kind of fertilizer you may can get your hands on. But this is regulated. We are held to, and everything we do is very transparent. We are there to help the farmer that we're working with in every way possible. Any kind of results he wants to see, any kind, you know, the nutrient level, what was applied, the dates applied. I mean, we are under a microscope. We have paperwork and document, and yes, we work with the government, but we all have to trust the government. And I know how people say if you trust the government, but we do. We trust the government. I'm going to stop here in a minute and pull up to a window and buy my supper from someone I've never seen before. But I'm going to trust that the United States government is going to see to it that that hamburger will not hurt me.
Well, what are you gonna do when you go out at night and your cows glow in the dark?
I'd like to say that I'd like to invite these folks over to my house for a cup of coffee and sit on my deck and drink. See how they like that.
Thank you.
Hey, can I say one other thing before we go? Last fall, or last spring, I'm sorry, Mr. Cornelius, when he was putting it on, I stopped and asked him one day at his mailbox. I didn't go on his property, I stayed on the right. I didn't cuss the man, and I didn't threaten the man. I just asked him simple questions. Guess what? 2 days later, Chuck Phillips come in my yard. Said, Mr. Pike, you don't need to be harassing me. And then he turned around and asked me, he said, what is that smell? And I said, that's what we're trying to fight, Mr.
I would like to say one thing. I don't know if this has been addressed, and no, I'm sorry, I didn't get on your little thing. I didn't really want to talk. But we have a well, and we've had a well. We live in the Favis community, and we have a well, and we've always had a well, and we have a very nice well. Now you're making me very scared. I haven't tested mine in a little while. I have tested it many times, and it's always came up very good. Now I'm getting concerned, but everybody in our area and in Jackson County, the whole county, is not on city water. And I know, of course, I don't drink out of the river anyway, but the thing is, I'm very concerned also about our wells. The wells is real important, real important.
I agree with you totally. I grew up on well water. My family
I mean-
still has well water. But I understand you people from Flat Rock, you're very frustrated. But I wanted to reiterate what Tim and Jason said. We are limited in what we can do. We are handcuffed. We're not the body that you need to address this with to get something changed. Again, it is Montgomery, and I know that's a hard door to keep knocking on, but if you want change, that's where you're going to have to knock. We're here to give you a place to voice, you know, your concerns, speak with the people, kind of regulate the meeting and everything like that. It's not that we're not concerned about what you want and what you need. It's not that we say, oh, it's not our problem, we live in Scottsboro.
It's not that. It's we have no power to do that.
How easy
Can you help us get on Montgomery? Help us knock on their door? Help us.
He's been talking to Tommy, he says
This
himself.
meeting is not gonna help anything.
What are we
doing?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All we can do is complain to one another. You know, if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, might as well be at home watching a football game or something.
Well, someone asked to put it on the agenda and
I'll
be heard.
be yes if it's not going nowhere.
Someone asked to put this on the agenda, and we let them, and everybody was invited to come.
Well, I'm going to Roseway.
I have a question. Do y'all regulate septic tanks?
No, ma'am.
Who regulates septic tanks?
That's the Jackson County Health Department.
But it's a
right
state
owned by the state of Alabama. It's the Jackson County, it's like I have one in DeKalb County and one in Marshall County. It's the county health department, but state-run organization.
So if they can regulate my
The state.
septic tank,
Yeah.
but the county does, you gotta have a permit, it's got all this,
Your permit back.
then
Yeah.
why are we allowing human waste that's worse than what I put in my septic tank to be spread, to run wherever it wants to run?
Again, like he said, it's state regulated.
That's not, the health department is not Jackson County Commission's health department. It's the state's Jackson County Health Department.
Excuse me, but I called the health department in Jackson, the state, and they got through back, and they couldn't do nothing.
Exactly
That's
right.
Scottsboro. And it's
Hey, could
the
I,
state.
didn't a couple of y'all say y'all was from paint rock out here?
I live in Scottsboro.
Sir, you may be next, because I understand this guy is having put out, bought a bunch of land in Scott, over there, and that's put, so you may be next.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be there fighting with you.
Good.
Can I ask a question? Have y'all approached Alpha, and does Alpha support the program?
Alpha?
The Farmers Federation of Alabama?
I'm not familiar with that, are you?
I believe Alpha statewide is aware of beneficial reuse. I don't think we've ever spoken directly about this particular project.
Okay, folks, we appreciate again y'all coming out, and we understand your concern. One other thing, reports from the commission, anything else, Ms. Venable?
Again, I just like to thank everybody for coming out, and, you know, we'll do this again.
This lady up here asked about the petitions. The petitions are still going. We don't have enough people helping us with it, and we appreciate more help. Jackson County is a big county, and it takes time. We've got things that we have to do with our own family and things that we have to do at home that we can't be out every day doing. And to get 3,000 signatures takes time. It's not been thrown away. It's still being worked on.
I'll help. If there's anybody I can help, I'll help you.
Well, okay, I've got petitions to hand out, and anybody that wants to work with it, and I'm sure appreciate everybody that has.
Okay,
Work on this.
Mr. Guffey, do you have anything? Sis, do you have anything else? Ms. Gilbert? Okay, that concludes everything on today's work session. With that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Thank y'all again.